She's on her way. Tell everyone.
So in my case, I ended up at Vogue.
She's not supposed to be here until 9.
Her driver just text messaged.
I don't know if any of you have seen The Devil Wears Prada, or are you too young to remember that?
Why it's so difficult to confirm an appointment.
I know, I'm so sorry, Miranda.
It was a very sort of light version of life at Vogue. It was like Vogue light.
What was your relationship with your first boss, fashion editor?
It wasn't Anna Wintour, my first boss. I worked for, well, first of all, the woman that hired me, Frances Stein, but then I also worked for the editor-in-chief, Grace Mirabella. I was one of her 3 assistants. And then I worked for Polly Mellon, the legendary Polly Mellon. And Polly Mellon used to inspire fear and loathing from everyone in the entire floor at Vogue. I mean, she'd come in off the elevator and everybody started to just tremble like this, and you could feel Polly approaching. And
All right, everyone, gird your loins. Did someone eat an onion bagel?
she'd start screaming, Vera! Like that, you know, I'd just start to shake. But she really taught me everything about organization, about logic, about being overly prepared. You were never prepared enough for a shoot. And her passion, she was a passionate woman. And she imbued me and many of her other assistants with that same passion education. But she was tough, very, very tough. In fact, in one of the Vogue movies, I think it's The Editor's Eye, they asked me what Polly was like, and I said, brutal. I said something like maybe a bitch, or brutal, or something like that. I don't remember. I said something very inappropriate, but it was the truth, because that was the only way that she felt she could train me. It was like tough love. And in a way, I still thank her for that, because I could never probably have gone on with the same work ethic without experiencing her training. So.
I actually did confirm last night.
Details of your incompetence do not interest me. Tell Simone I'm not going to prove that girl that she sent me for the Brazilian layout. I asked for clean, athletic, smiling. She sent me dirty, tired, and paunchy. And RSVP, yes, the Michael Kors party. I want the driver to drop me off at 9:30 and pick me up at 9:45 sharp.
At the start of your career, so immediately upon graduating from Sarah Lawrence College, you were hired as an editor at Vogue magazine, the youngest editor at that magazine. In such a competitive industry, what do you think made you stand out?
I'm going to be really honest. I think it was luck. I'd like to say I was deserving, or that I was something extraordinary. That would not be true. I fell in love with fashion, and I happened to meet some amazing young women that worked for French Vogue. So I didn't really know what an editor was or did. I had absolutely no idea. And I know that when I got back to New York, I really wanted to be a designer. And my father paid for so much tuition to get me through undergraduate that he said, I'm just not going to do that anymore. If you think you really want to be in fashion, go get a job. And I ended up working as a sales girl at Yves Saint Laurent, and I was sort of discovered by this woman named Frances Paddocky Stein, who was quite historic in fashion, American fashion. And when I sold her a pair of pants or a blazer, I don't quite remember, by Yves Saint Laurent, she said, when you get out of college, give me a call. I will hire you at Vogue. So being there enabled me to really have an education that you could not get anywhere else. And so when you're exposed to that level of talent and you learn from that, it's an enormous, enormous privilege. But it is grueling. It involves a lot of sacrifice. There are no hours, particularly in the part I was in, which is editorial. Long days, long nights, everything. And it was something that enabled me to move on with the rest of my life. I went to my mother. I said, this woman said she'd get me a job at Vogue. And my mother said, no, she won't. She's just being polite to you. But that's my parents. They were tough.
Yeah.
Boy, were they tough. And they wanted me to achieve. They wanted excellence. They weren't into fluff.